Hello, welcome to this supplementary video about Lighting Designer Autofill for DAZ Studio. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what we can do with these autofill presets after we actually have them in the scene. But right now you can see I have two of the plane type, and I want to go ahead and change out one of these for a spotlight type. So I'm just going to select that and hit delete to get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and click on Monique so that she's selected. I still have that polygon selection I made in the last video, so I'm just going to come over here now and double click on Lighting Designer to run it. I'm going to go ahead and choose from the Spotlight Studio, one of the presets, and you can see we have a number of presets here. They're all based on different Kelvin color temperatures that you would commonly find in lighting fixtures in the real world. So you can just pick whichever one matches the lighting situation that you want to be in. In this particular case, I'm going to choose the Cool Daylight spot. It's going to come in at the same 100 centimeters. If that's not where you want it to be, then you can simply move that slider back and forth until you get what you want. But this is going to be just fine for my purposes. And I'm going to go ahead and choose accept. So basically what I have is the exact same type of lighting that I had before, but in this case I'm using a spotlight instead of using a plane. And the reason why that is because I want to show you where you would change the relevant settings for both. All right, so let's first start with the spotlight. So I'm just going to come over here to the spotlight and I'm going to go ahead and turn on iRay so that we'll be able to see this in real time. And then I'm going to come over here to parameters. And again, if you're not seeing parameters, you just come over here to window and you go down to panes and you can open up parameters. And the one that we're going to be looking for here is going to be the light. So if I click that, you can see I can twirl that open and you can see there's a category under here called photometrics. And the one that we want to control here is going to be luminous flux. That's going to be the intensity of this particular light source. And then we have the Kelvin temperature if we wanted to make it warmer or cooler. By dropping the Kelvin temperature, you're going to make it warmer. And by increasing the Kelvin temperature, you're going to make it cooler. So let's say in this particular case, what I want to do is I want to make it slightly cooler. So I'm just going to pull that up to 7,500. And you're going to see that the light source is going to be made cooler in the iRay viewport that we can see as soon as it comes back. All right, so that looks good. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the luminous flux up because I want this light source to be stronger. So in this particular case, maybe I'll just type in a specific value. So I'm going to take it up to 300, which is going to be basically double what it was before. That's going to make this pretty strong for this particular EV. As you can see, now we have a really strong light source on the backside, and that's going to work just fine for what we want. So then I'm going to come over here to the autofill plane, and here we're going to change the setting in the surfaces. So you can see here's the surfaces that I have already open. If you don't, then you just find it under Window, Pane. I already have it here, so I'm just going to go ahead and twirl this open. And what you can see is that I have a material. And the material is called default for the plane. And what I can do is I can change the same two parameters. They're found right here. We have luminance and we also have emission temperature. And this means exactly the same thing. So in this case, if I wanted to make this plane to be warmer, I could take it down to say something like 3,500, which is going to make it very warm. You can see that's now shining a very warm light on her face. And I can make this stronger. Now, the case with this particular plane is it's using a shader, and I have these documented in the manual. But the way that this particular shader works is that it's going to have two images. It's going to have the regular luminance image, and then it's going to have a hotspot image. And then it has two separate luminances. Here it's separated, image to luminance. But here the luminance and the image are the same. And these two are going to be composited together. So the total luminance for the plane is going to be a composite of this luminance value and this image and this value composited together. Which means that if I wanted to make the hotspot to be brighter, I could do that without affecting the background image of the softbox, or I could do that the other way around. In this particular case, I want the softbox to be the thing that I'm going to increase. So what I'll do is I'll just take this to 3,000. That's going to make this significantly stronger, as you can see here. And I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead now and just get out of this, come back over here to my texture shaded, which is the mode that I typically work in. And now I'd be ready to go ahead and choose click the render and create my final render. And that's really the most simple way that you can think about working with Lighting Designer autofill objects, whether it be a plane or a spotlight, is just worry about changing the luminance or the emission temperature in order to customize the lighting that you're getting. If you want to get more deeply into what these custom shaders that I built can do, then you can definitely check out the manual and see what the different parameters do and try them for yourselves. And if there's enough demand for it on these YouTube comments, I'll go ahead and make a separate video that talks about each one of these shaders in depth if you guys really want me to. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you enjoy using Lighting Designer to get more precise and quicker lighting for your DAZ scenes.